Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In my previous video, I talked about the Calgary Stampeders and what they did in the Canadian College Draft, or the National Draft, where we selected all Canadian-born players. So you can watch what the Calgary Stampeders did in that video. I meant to say, in this video, we'll now talk about the Global Draft. These are players that have their birth certificates overseas, and each team got to make 3 selections in the Global Draft. And unlike the National Draft, the Global Draft is actually a snake draft. So you know what I mean when we take a look at the draft tracker in that. But before I get to that, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, home of the Flames, Hitmen, Roughneck Stampeders, and the Cavalry FC, just make sure you like, subscribe, and have all my other social links down in the description below. And I do have my second channel in Brett Hornby Shorts, where I exclusively put my short film content on there. So this will definitely be a much shorter video, as there's only 3 players that the Calgary Stampeders selected in the Global Draft, as opposed to 8 players in the National Draft. And I also touched upon University of Calgary Dino players, but this basically separates, the Americans and the Nationals, as well as this is where you get the Mexican and European players and players from all over. So once again, the draft order is the same as the order from the season before. So the Montreal Alouettes, they actually got to pick first in this Global Draft, and this will be known as the Kingsley Jonathan Draft for the Global Draft. Defensive end, he went to school at Syracuse. He actually is Nigerian. So that was the first pick in the Global Draft. But the Calgary Stampeders, they actually didn't get the pick till 7th. This was the waiver priority order. So Calgary had the 7th overall pick in the first round of the Global Draft, and the first player that the Calgary Stampeders selected was offensive lineman in Bamidele, Olaseni, if I said the name right. He went to school at Utah, and he's actually from Great Britain. So we went to Great Britain for this one. Looking at all the nationalities that were picked in the first round, Australia is represented. I guess if you want kickers, you go to Australia, and then there's a player from Latvia, Sweden, and Mexico. So it's nice to see some more international flavor when it comes to getting some gridiron football in the Canadian Football League. So round 2, given that this is a snake draft, the Calgary Stampeders drafted later in the first round. They get to draft earlier in the second round. So the second pick that the Calgary Stampeders made in the Global Draft was 12th overall in the second round, and they drafted linebacker in Ryan Gomes, and he went to Galo University, and he is from Brazil. So he went to Brazil for the next pick. Looking at the second round, more kickers being drafted from Australia. Oh, there's one from Brazil, a couple players from France, a couple players from Brazil, and Switzerland and Great Britain and the Netherlands. So more countries being represented in the Global Draft. And then the last pick for the Calgary Stampeders they made in round 3, which was the 25th overall. So later in the third round, the Calgary Stampeders selected Devine-Scott, defensive back. He went to the University at Western New England. So he went to Australia for this one. So more players that represent countries. There was someone from Belgium, Germany, Brazil, France, Mexico, and Latvia. So some more players that got drafted elsewhere around the world. So then the Calgary Stampeders made no trade. So to recap what the Calgary Stampeders did and who they picked up in the Global Draft. The first player was 7th overall in the first round in Olaseni. Defensive lineman from Utah is representing Great Britain. Then the second round, 12th overall, was Ryan Gomes, linebacker. He went to Galo School, representing Brazil. And then the last player the Calgary Stampeders made in the third round, 25th overall, was Devine-Scott, defensive back. who went to school at Western New England from Australia. And then I guess, if you can call him Mr. Irrelevant, in the Global Draft, the last player was 27th overall, was the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It was Ralphus Ruins, defensive tackle. He went to Liberty School, representing Latvia. So I'm gonna say, yep, Calgary went to Great Britain, then they went to Brazil, and then they went to Australia to pick their 3 players in the Global Draft. So I know last year punter, I think his name, the punter last year we got from Australia made an impact right away, replacing Rob Mayer. So you never know if any of these global players will make an impact for the Calgary Stampeders right away. But of course, like I said in the last video, congratulations to all the players that have been drafted and selected, and hopefully get to live out your football dreams starting in the Canadian Football League. But yeah, it's definitely nice to see a little more international flavor. I guess gridiron football is being played a little more than just exclusively here in North America, as you know, that's got to call it gridiron football to not distinguish what they call football in Europe, soccer. But that is what it is. So that's all I have for the Global Draft. So you can see the other video for the National Draft. This was exclusively for the Global Draft, and of course there's still some small uncertainty right now in the Canadian Football League when it comes to a new CBA. Right now, training camps were supposed to start, or at least in 7 of the 9 teams, but they are on strike now. But Calgary and Edmonton have 72 hours before they get to go on strike. But I think you keep hearing both sides are still talking, and I think the league and the Players Association eventually going to come to their sense saying they definitely can't afford a prolonged strike, especially when the league has been declining, and the fact that we're still getting back from COVID. So I don't think we're going to lose any games at the end of the day, but just got to go through the negotiating tactics. Excuse me there. So anyway, to close out, to say if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, home of the Flames, Hitman, the Roughnecks, Stampeders, as well as the Calgary FC. If you, as I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, and I also do have a variety of non-sports content like personal blogs, stand-up comedy, and also share experiences. Let's say I'm on the road or a sport event and some vlogging to go. So if that all sounds like be interested to watch, to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, you know what you do, just make sure you hit like, subscribe, and also have my other social media links down in the description below, and do have my second channel in Brett Hornby Shorts, where you can exclusively, I put my short form content in there. So I appreciate like, subscribe both here on my main channel as well as my second channel. So that's why I say go Stamps go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.